Hanun hor, yevord vo, yevogwinsur po, amen. Christos haryavi merelots. Christ is risen from the dead. Says Yevmez mezavedis, to you and to us, great news. Aisor haryav imerelots. Today, Christ rose from among the dead. Today, the 20th of April in the year 2025, marks the 1992nd anniversary of the single day that changed history forever. Of the day that a single man accomplished the impossible. Of the day that Jesus of Nazareth became the first human being to escape from the clutches of death. Of the day that God and man were reconciled forever. An anniversary, a commemoration of past events. And although the magnitude of the event that we gather to celebrate is immense, do we really need to gather together for the 1992nd time to commemorate it? Let's think of another commemoration that we will gather to celebrate later this year, the 4th of July. This year will mark the 249th anniversary of this day, of the day that the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, formally declaring the 13 American colonies independent from Great Britain. This day is of profound significance for us as Americans. The day when liberty defeated tyranny. The day when the great experiment of democracy began. The day when a nation would be founded, not based on ethnic or religious ties, but on a common idea that all people are created equal. Certainly a day of profound significance, and yet for most Americans, just 249 years later, this day has devolved into merely signifying a day off from work, an opportunity to gather for a barbecue, drink a few beers, and watch some fireworks. If the significance of the anniversary of the 4th of July has faded over a mere 249 years, how much less significant is the anniversary of an event that took place almost 2,000 years ago? And I think that for many, Easter Sunday has taken a similar trajectory as the 4th of July. In the best of circumstances, we gather for our obligations at church. Then we gather with loved ones for a feast. We eat, we drink, we celebrate. All good things. But other than the particular items on the menu or decorations on the table, our gatherings for Easter are typically indistinguishable from the other parties that we hold on the 4th of July, or Labor Day, or Thanksgiving. Another anniversary, another historical remembrance that fades into obscurity, and eventually devolves into another occasion for us to stuff our faces. I am not at all condemning the beloved family gatherings that accompany Easter. I myself am greatly looking forward to joining my family in a little bit today to eat and drink and to celebrate. I am, however, warning against the temptation of treating Easter Sunday as simply the anniversary of another historical event, whose only purpose is to afford us the opportunity to gather with family and friends. Because frankly, our church makes very clear to us, without ambiguity, that we do not gather on Easter Sunday to celebrate the anniversary of anything, but rather to become a part of something new that is unfolding in our midst. The very first words that we proclaim in the canon of Easter hymns are not 7 years ago, but rather, Aisor, today. Our forebears wanted to make sure that there was no mistake that what we gather to celebrate on Easter Sunday is not an event of the past, but a reality that we are part of today. And yet, oddly, while starting this principal hymn of Easter with the word ACHR, today, the very next words refer to a past event, even using the past tense. Haroutiun imerelot, that Christ rose from among the dead. The hymn starts by speaking of today, but then proceeds to mention Christ's rising from the dead, which occurred thousands of years ago. And in this seeming paradox is revealed a profound reality, that Christ's rising from the dead was both a historical event, which occurred at a particular place in a particular time, while at the very same time transcending time itself and shaking the foundations of the world just as powerfully today as when they first took place. Because, brothers and sisters, Christ's resurrection from the dead indeed changed the world 2,000 years ago. His rising from the dead indeed defeated death once and for all. But although Christ's resurrection has already changed the world, today is the day that I get to choose whether or not I will allow his resurrection to also change me. The resurrection is not simply an occasion to be marked on a timeline in a history book. The resurrection is a reality to be experienced, the power of which I am called to usher into the world by living it each and every day. We gather today to celebrate the Holy Badarak on this feast of the Holy Resurrection for the purpose of experiencing the risen Lord, of welcoming him into our hearts, and of allowing him to raise us up from death to life. Living the resurrection means allowing his self-giving love to guide all that I do. Living the resurrection means holding on to hope in the midst of hardship. Living the resurrection means treating one another with the dignity of being a fellow brother and sister who Christ also found precious enough to die for. Far too often, life can feel like one perpetual Good Friday. Like all that we encounter is one crucifixion after the other. And yet, the Easter gospel provides us with the world-shattering, joy-fostering, strength-providing, hope-imbuing, and life-altering news that today Christ rose from among the dead. That behind every Good Friday awaits an Easter Sunday. That, as St. Paul put it, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. ACHR Haroutiun imerelot. Today, Christ rose from among the dead. The resurrection indeed changed the world 2,000 years ago. Will today be the day that I let it change me? May our risen Lord this and every day enter our hearts, transform our lives, and raise us from death to life. Amen.